Hello everyone, it's Mish here and welcome to my channel. If you're new, I thank you so much for stopping by and I hope that you like what you see and will give me a like and subscribe at the end, but that's up to you. And for all my returning family, thank you so much. Today I'm going to be doing week 33, wow, in the Margarete Miller Collage Challenge. If you haven't been following me, it is a collage. It runs the year. There's 52 prompts, and each week there are a number of prompts with a bonus that you can swap something out. You can also use scrap paper or pattern paper as your background, and then you can add stickers, rubber stamping, anything else that you would like to do to embellish your page. This is volume 4, so essentially year 4. The hashtag I forget for this year, is hashtag 2024 CW and then the week. So this would be hashtag 2024 CW 33. To find the list of prompts, she sells them on her Etsy shop. I think there may be in other places, but I'm not sure. And her name on Etsy is Mellow Miller. So I have been using a book that I picked up at the thrift store, and I absolutely love this book and how it's shaping out, and I'm not ashamed to say that. I don't know, there's just something about, for me, the size of the page and how the collages are going down. I sometimes worry that you guys think that it's just the same old thing in a way. So I really hope that you're not getting bored with my style. With this kind of book, it's hard to do mixed media, so this is basically a collage book. For this week's prompt, I got all excited and started to do some mixed media stuff, and then just realized it's just not gonna, I just can't do that. I can't have a lot of dimension on one page. Now, in saying that, this morning I took out a bunch of more pages from the book itself. So I took out a number there, and the way that I try to do it, and I was trying to get that in frame, is I look at the signatures. So essentially a signature is a bound group of pages, and all books generally have a number of signatures. So you can see kind of there's one right there. And then I find the middle of the page, and you can tell where the middle is because they're stitching. Now, I'm not going to tell you 100% that every book is bound the same way, but I find a majority is bound the same way. So if possible, it just makes the book more, I don't know, just spreads out the pages a little bit better if you kind of take from the middle, because then you're kind of taking 2 pages, and do that from each signature. So don't do all your collaging kind of in the front of the book so that your pages become like this and then think you're going to take out the last. What you want to do is kind of have an idea before you start using a book type thing that you want to alter, and then spread out those pages throughout that book. So I have taken some more out. I did take some stuff at the beginning. So here we are at week 33, and my book is still pretty good. Now, the other thing is that I've been trying to avoid any liquid. So I do use some Elmer's glue, which is the glue all, and I do have like a little micro tip. But for this, because it's paper on paper, I'm using, double-sided tape where I can get away with it. And where I need to tack down the edges, I will use this glue. Now, I could also use Fabri-Tac or Beacon's 3-in-1, or I believe Collage is the same type. They're silicone based, so they don't have water, so they wouldn't warp your page, or at least not much. But that's kind of how I go about things. So as I usually do, I'm going to get down some background. So for my background, I'm trying to get this, my last video that went out, I realized I was off frame quite a bit this way because my camera thing had shifted. And now I'm realizing that it's just not, I think it'll do though, because I don't think you need to see the very top and the bottom. So I think we'll get away with that. So graph paper, I'm going to use that as my background. So I am going to just use some of this. And I'm thinking that might cut that edge off. I think I will, because it's going to be underneath, I think. So I'm just going to cut that out. I wasn't essentially, but it might lift up my main image. So I was cleaning my craft room. I feel like it's my office. I was cleaning up the craft room last weekend, and it was actually, this is going to air on Sunday the 11th, and this is actually the weekend before, so this is the weekend. It just sometimes gets confusing when you post a video in advance, but I'm actually doing this on Sunday of the Sunday before, so it's actually the 3rd. And I have been cleaning up my craft room this weekend. It's so humid here, though, that I can hardly stand to be in my craft room for any period of time. So, and when I was, is that too high? Oh, well, it's too late now. So when I was just trying to tighten up my craft room, I had to chuckle because somebody wrote in one of the comments, and I'm still trying to get to all the comments. Gosh, I'd like to see the size of your craft room or whatever. And my craft room is very small. Like picture a largest walk-in closet. That's about the size of my craft room. So I have to be really organized with things, or it's just not all going to fit in here. But I had a box kind of in the back of one of my shelves, and I tend to put things in the back that I don't really use much. So, and anyways, when I went to this box, it's a box of cards already, like store-bought cards, and it's in the back of the shelf because I usually make all my cards, and I have for a long time. But you accumulate cards, and a lot of cards I picked up either in the UK when I wasn't doing a lot of cards, and I still have them. I'm thinking something like that. So when I came across this card, oh my gosh. If you've been following my channel, just wait to see this card. So the card that I found is going to be my focal point. And I'm going to do stuff kind of the same, but a little bit different in that I'm having one focal point, and it's going to be the card. And when you see it, you'll understand why. Kind of happy with that. So this is a receipt. So that was the bonus. And yeah, it's not filled out, but it is a guest check is still a receipt. And then this one here that I'm putting down is also a receipt for 10 pounds and 50p. Or $10.50. Okay, so that's my background. So are you ready for the main image? La la! Guess who that is? That's baby Chester. So as soon as I saw that, I thought, oh gosh, that's just got to be my page. It's just got to be him. So I'm trying to figure out how to make it interesting with just this, but we will endeavor. So I thought that I would do a little bit of stamping. So I did find I've stamped that on this page, and I do have one that is a receipt. That's this one. So I thought that I would just try it out first and see if I like it. Yeah. So just do a little bit of background stamping, and I'm not bothering to put it on a block. I'll just do a couple little clusters as such. Okay. And then, oh, I just got to get a baby wipe from my desk here. So that's kind of a receipt, but I always like doing some other stamping. And I've got my stamps just here. So I'm going to do, graph paper is one of the prompts. I'm going to stamp off. That's going to be underneath, so it doesn't really matter there. And by stamping off, it just makes your image a little bit lighter. So I'm kind of liking that. And then I wanted to get just a little bit of scripting there too. And I'm thinking that I could put it in a different color. But I'm happy with that. Okay, so then I've got that. And then I had some more scripting. I have just a few numbers, which I think I will use just to and some of this might be covered up, which is fine. Like so. Okay, and at this point, if you wanted to do some splatters, I kind of considered it for this one, just for the background, to give it a little bit more interest, where I'm only having the one image, but I don't have my splatter stuff ready, so. Okay, so that's gonna go there. And then I found just some in my stash. I just grabbed a bunch of papers off to the side here. This here is going to be my leaves, so that I'm going to layer that like that, I think. And then what makes me happy, well, I love butterflies, so I thought to get that there. And I had another image, but I can't find it now. I've got a bunch of, oops, dropped my scissors. So I had some patterned paper, which I just pulled out of my stash. And I thought I had another image, but, so leaves, oh, something made from wood. So I'm going to go, and this is a, maybe a leap, but paper is made of wood pulp. So I'm kind of going with that. But what I had thought I would go with initially was I had some wooden die cuts, and this one says love, and then there's a little heart, and I took some glitter and I put some glitter on, and once it was good and dry, I then took the sandpaper and sanded quite a bit of it off just so that it kind of gave like a distressed look, but it's way too dimensional. I put it down and tried to close my pages, and my pages would, you know, I'd be trying to lay something flat and it would just be too bulky underneath it. So I had to abort that mission. And then I had this leaf that I then aborted as well because it came from Michael's, either Michael's or Dollar Store, plastic flower things. But what I managed to do was pull the plastic thing off the back, and it was really easy. So I was kind of thinking I might just put that underneath there, because I kind of liked how that kind of, I don't know, frames in a way. And then I had these little leaves. I don't know where I got them, but I was kind of thinking I would put a leaf underneath there, because then it is a little bit dimensional, but not enough that it's gonna like affect possibly the rest of the pages. So what I think, I really do like that color pop at the top. The other thing I thought of is that I had these which kind of had the colors of that. So I was kind of thinking just to, no, I don't like that. I'd like to get another piece of that somewhere. wonder if I have any in my stash. My thing is I've got all kinds of bins of paper. So you're just going to have to bear with me 1 second. Or I could pause this and come back. I just like that it's just such a lovely pop of color. And it's sort of along the tone of the image. Not exactly, it's a little bit, yeah, it's pretty much the same tone. I know I have a big piece of that, but do you really want to cut down a big piece? What's on the back of that? Sometimes I just find some papers that I absolutely love. And they just seem to go with all of my color palettes. What about that? I'll put that at the bottom. I've got some other ones off to the side here. Oh, here. Oh, no. Actually, that might work because it's bigger. It's not bigger, but it's more white space. That's what I'm trying to say. With this one here, I just find it's too busy. There's just not enough white space in it. But I can't find a little scrap of that. So, I am not going to cut. But I think I can make do with that piece there, to be honest. So let me see. If I put that there, I think this would go, I think that would go really nice there. And I could just cut a little, oh look, and there's little bees there too. Oh, that's meant to be. My mother is now with us right now. Okay, so I think what I'll do, oops, is I'll get this out so I can make a straighter cut. And then I'm just gonna cut a little bit closer to that edge. Alright, let's see. Let us see. Yes. Oh gosh, and now the guy's starting up. How come it is invariably every time I film, I say this to you guys, he's now starting up his big chainsaw thing. Are you freaking kidding me? Oh well. Let's see how far we go. Alright, do I want to... I often like to overlap. I don't like gaps between things. I'd rather have a space than a gap, but I kind of want that there. So I'm going to put that down. I've been still watching the Paris Olympics. By the time this airs, the Olympics might be over. I'm not sure when they're finished. Okay. I think they have telepathy. And they know. But it sounds like he's starting up a chainsaw. I don't think there's anything out there he needs to cut with a chainsaw. Anyway. Okay, so I want that one about there. And I was thinking of shutting the window, but oh my goodness, we're having another heat wave. And I know I'm always complaining. Oh, I'll have to come back. Okay, I think he's done. I'm not entirely sure, but it's been, excuse me, about an hour later, so hopefully he's done. In the meantime, I found some of these little scraps, and I hadn't picked up my scissors yet, but so I thought that maybe put a little piece there, and then I was kind of thinking to put a little piece kind of under there, and then have that card kind of something like that. Yeah, I think I'm liking that. Okay, so I just want to get this down, and then I was noticing too that my stamping has sort of disappeared, so I think I'll do a little bit more stamping as well. But I think I'll do it in black, because the brown was nice, but I think black will be good. So I'm going to put that about there. So let's put that about there. Okay, and then I think we'll pull that right down to the corner. I am going to tuck my prop in behind there, and behind the little baby Chester. Oh my gosh, that is so cute. Sometimes I feel more like an 8-year-old than my age, but I mean, come on, that is cute, isn't it? I just dropped my butterfly. Hold on one sec. Okay, so then before I put that down, I just pulled out my stamps again with just some Stampin' Off paper, and I'm just going to use my black archival that I use quite a bit. And then I don't want to actually stamp on the image, so let's just stamp around it a little bit. Oops. Oh, I stamped off too. I don't know why that was so dark. There and there. Maybe a little bit down. Don't actually want to stamp on there though. So that usually acts as a little frame around the page for me. Okay, and then just going to use that scripting again. Put a little bit of script in there. And down here. Okay. Just using my white there. Yeah, it was supposed to rain today, but so far it's actually, the skies are more clear than it was this morning, so I'll have to check. We were supposed to get some severe thunder yesterday, but we didn't really get any of that either. Okay, so right, so then when I put that down, that kind of draws it better, because there's a little bit of stuff there and stuff there. Okay, so I am going to get him down now. And I'm going to save a little spot to the side to put my prompt. For sure. I went out, when I took a break there a minute ago, I went out to the kitchen to get a little snack. Oops. Why do I always mess that up? So I was going to leave a little space for my prompt, but then I just promptly taped over it, which is fine. I'll just put some paper down. That's good enough there. All right. And I couldn't find Chester. I was like, where did he go? And then I looked all over the place. There's no way he could have got out. Then I just happened to think, is he under the table? Kitchen table? So when I went, he was curled up on one of the kitchen chairs. Bizarre. Just never know what's going to get into that cat's head. Okay, so then I've got this little butterfly I was going to put here, and I also have this leaf, which is very filmy. It's but it's got a lot of nice texture. So I'm thinking that I want to put it underneath the butterfly. So I'm just going to angle the butterfly a little bit and stick it down like so. And then if I want to, I could put just a wee little bit of tape. There we go. And I was going to tape this one underneath there too, but I think it's too late. I'm going to tape this or glue it. Let's see, I don't know if the tape will hold this. This feels like it's not, it's kind of like a material, but I imagine it's some kind of plastic. Okay, so we got that underneath there. And then I found these little stickers, and it's a leaf, so I thought this would go cute kind of there. I liked how that looked, just to bring a little bit more color into it. And then I had these little flowers, and that one there has a little butterfly, except he's got a little butterfly on his nose, but I like these little daisies. So I thought we could put these little daisies kind of right behind him there, which is kind of cute. And I kind of liked this little bouquet to go underneath this leaf, kind of right there, because butterflies need flowers. And then I was kind of thinking I would put something in here, but I also have two more little butterflies. These I fussy cut, and they came from my porch prints, I believe. It was a free giveaway that Stephanie had, on her Facebook page. This was a long time ago. And I tend to try to keep these round because they're great for little accents, particularly in my junk journal. And I'm only gluing their little bodies down to give them a bit of dimension. I also have these little rivets, so I'm thinking that I'll put some of these. I don't know where my other tweezers went. I had them here. You know, I think there's like little gremlins in my craft room, and they come and they move things around and have a little play with stuff. Okay, so let me see if I can get these relatively straight. Excuse my head if it gets in the way. So then that adds a little pop of color there. And then I think I'll put one of these gold ones on his body. But I think these are too big. I was going to put one on there too, but I just think they're a little bit too big. So let's get out the other gems that we have in our stash and see if we have a tiny, I want just a little one of these. Oh, those are the silver ones. I was thinking those were these ones, but I want smaller. I want the smallest ones. The ones I like the best for the butterflies are these Spellbinders ones. Soon gonna have to order another pack. So I'm just gonna use this size. Oh yeah, that's nice. And it just adds a little bit of bling and not too much dimension. They don't stand up that high. Okay, and I'm just trying to think if there was anything else. How is that looking? I think it's looking kind of cute. If you can see the rivets and the way the light catches the little, I was thinking of putting something down there though, but I kind of like almost the simplicity of it. So I think I'm fine. Before I go though, I wanted to, so I did mention on one of my videos, it might have been, I can't remember which one, about sending a card from Green Gables, Anna Green Gables. So I have a number of people who have requested, so my list is filling up, but I do need some of your addresses, and I just want to be clear that your address comes to my personal email, and I don't do anything at all with your address. And once I write it in a book that is locked in my office, then will delete the email. So the email, I always put it in the description below, but it's mishcrafty8664@gmail.com. And the people that I'm looking for, I don't know the name of this one here, but you'll know who you are because you've asked. And then Melody, Dragonfly, and I'm not sure if it's Ivan or Elvan. You guys have all said you'd love one from Anna Green Gables. So make sure that if you do want one, to send me your address. And I still have a couple more stamps. So this is August, as I said, this is going to air on the 11th. And so we are going to be leaving soon. So again, if I can't, if my stamps have filled up, I'll just let you know. But if you do and you're a regular watcher on my channel, then I'd love to send you a postcard. So let's see if this will fit in there. And I think we got everything. We got our little animal with fur, what makes me happy, flowers and butterflies, of course. Graph paper, something made of wood, of course, paper, but I know I'm pushing the boat out on that one. A leaf or leaves, we've got all kinds of those, and a bonus is a receipt. So I'm just going to stick that in there. And, well, that's it. We're done for today. So if you did like it, I'd love for you to give me a like and subscribe if you haven't, but no pressure on that score. And until we meet again, I really hope you stay safe and well, and know that you are a special person and that you deserve all the goodness that comes to you. Bye for now.